Thank you all so much for attending once again. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Peter to talk to us about conquering the walls in our lives. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Melissa. So as you can see, conquering the walls in your life. For those of you who are a psychology major, I hope you appreciate the deep quote. I have a story in the beginning. So I went to Kent State, and in college at freshman orientation, they put up these 4 items on the wall: good grades, good fitness, good people, and good sleep. They said in college, you can only choose 3 out of the 4. And so those are just examples of walls in our life. I'm sure some of you are stressed about good grades. Maybe you have stress from above, from parents, maybe good fitness. I know the rec center, it may be hard to get in there, or just finding your own weight room, just getting exercise in your life. Maybe you're used to doing sports and you're missing all of that, especially during these times. Good people. So some of us may be stressed about having friends, or having good friends, or not having good friends, all of the above. And then finally, good sleep. Maybe like me, you sacrifice sleep to try to get the other 3 things in your life. But when you don't have sleep, then it seems like life is altogether stressful too. And so again, I wanted to start with the problem. What is the issue in our life? And it's honestly normal. I mean, we struggle with these things. But today I want to focus on 2, and that is good fitness and good people. How can Nosotros specifically help with these 2 areas to conquer these 2 walls? So let's get into it. First is good fitness. So we'll start with the obvious point, and that's number 1, that fitness is important. Fitness professionals dedicate their lives to the subject, and books are written about fitness, and we have whole conferences dedicated to fitness. We're all here for a reason. That is obvious. But what are the issues? So number 1, some of us may have scars in the fitness area. Maybe, I know for me, I played basketball, and my coach was rough on me, and so I have scars specifically with basketball. So some of us may not have an interest for sports, or may not have an interest for working out, and some of us maybe not don't have time, or you don't have time for things you're not interested in. Whatever the case may be, it's tough because we know that fitness is important, but we also know that there's obstacles, or there's walls in the way. And so some things that Nosotros does. Climbing, I found climbing to be a fitness hack. Here's why: because you forget that you're exercising, and it ends up being enjoyable because it's more of a challenge, because you can see where the end goal is. If I were to turn around my screen, here's the gym. And so it's about 125 feet long and 13 feet tall. And the end of each route has a tag on it. That's the end of your goal. And so you can clearly see where you want to end up. Sometimes when you're working out, you may not see the results as quick as you'd like, but in climbing, you can see the end result right in front of your eyes. What's also cool is sometimes you come and you can see other people climb the route that you're trying to get. So all of that is really enjoyable and motivating for people to come back. If you are a person that likes a challenge, and you kind of keep coming back, if you maybe you try something and you can't get it, like a handstand, and you keep working at it, this is one of those sports where people often revisit time and time again, trying to complete a route, and they find it enjoyable. It's instant gratification. Um, Usually climbing a route takes 45 seconds, and you either taste success or failure at the end. You either climb the route or you don't, and it motivates people to come back for more. Additionally, we set new routes every 2 weeks, so it always changes. These are all reasons why people come here. A lot of people come just because they've tried the working out thing. It doesn't pique their interest, but climbing satisfies the fitness, but also allows them to enjoy their time as well. So bottom line, it's a fitness hack, and that's what's made people come. So I hope that we wanted to be next to Cleveland State because I know that college can be stressful, and I hope that we can help you with those things in particular, with the stresses that you have in your life. I hope that our fitness can serve you well. Next is good people. So the first item is obvious again. We all know that socializing is important. Uh, People are craving relationships right now. It's really hard, and all the time. I mean, there's a reason social media is popular. It's because we want a connection with people. Um, the problem is that sometimes it's hard to meet people. So whether it's going out to a party or going bowling or Instagram or Tinder or what have you, it's sometimes it's just hard to meet good people. And then whenever you meet those people, sometimes the conversations are hard. So it's like, oh, you're from Rocky River, sweet. Mitchell's ice cream, awesome. And then sometimes you just don't know where to go from there. Some of us have social anxiety, and it's like, what do you talk about? You know, it's difficult. And so again, we built this gym for reasons like this. Um, we say that people belong here. Our tagline is that anyone can be a climber. So we have smaller people and larger people and different people and engineers and pizza delivery drivers. We have all of it. I've hired some user experience design people to walk through the gym and tell me what's confusing and what's intimidating, and then we've changed all of it so that it's really just user friendly. I have the person in mind who just is afraid to fail in public, and who's never climbed before. The majority of us have never climbed before. We've never done any of this. We may be afraid of trying out a new atmosphere. We may be afraid of maybe a gym atmosphere in particular, or afraid of other people who, I'm sure if you were to walk into a gym, you automatically think that everybody is really great. The truth is, Nosotros is kind of the beginner gym, and I like it like that. So climbing is relational. Climbers naturally laugh, chat, encourage one another. In sports, you can't really talk because you're chasing a ball. In climbing, there's a time to talk because you climb and then you rest. And that's typically when people are like, hey, good job on that route. Have you considered trying it this way? People are really good about doing that to one another. Also in sports, if you're lousy, nobody talks to you. But in climbing, if you're lousy, people talk to you more. Again, nobody passes me the ball when I play basketball because I'm more of a defender. But but the first time I climbed was 11 years ago. I was a plus one at a wedding, and the groom, he felt bad for me because I had nothing to do, and he said, "How about you come climbing with my buddies?" And I was stressed because I'm thinking everybody's probably monsters. They're really good, and I was terrible. And they were great to me, and the light bulb kind of went off, and I'm like, this is amazing. I've never seen another activity that welcomes people so warmly. um, so that's my story. And so again, that was 10, 11 years ago. We saved up money, and we finally launched. And usually whenever people start a gym, they're really good. That's not the case here. So I was never really good. I'm still not really good. And the reason it's helped us is because usually if a gym is started by a really good climber, they're surrounded by like a group of good climbers, and then you get into a hierarchy where you've got a good group of climbers, and then they kind of eat the young, that they sometimes they look down on the bad group of climbers. Well, in our scenario, I never had a good group because I was never good. So I was learning along with our customers, and that is our foundation. That we've never really been that judgy gym. We're super new people friendly, and I think that's good for students because I mean I titled it accurately. I mean, college is really fun, but it can also be really stressful for those four reasons: grades, friends, fitness, sleep. Something's going to be sacrificed. And for the 3 years that we've been in operation, I found that we've helped specifically uh, with the fitness and the people, and then the other things um, can fall in place afterwards. I can't promise the good sleep, but if I were to, I think that's probably the area that you should sacrifice, because the others are pretty important. Finally, Nosotros. So again, whether you're sold or not, this really wasn't meant to be a sales pitch. It was meant to be, hey, CSU is doing this for you. That fitness, it is super important. I've got a buddy, and every time he's stressed out, he calls his dad, and his dad says the same thing every time. He said, have you got your workout in today? And my buddy pretty much says the same thing every time. He's like, no, not yet. And his dad says, why don't you get your workout in and give me a call back and tell me how you feel? And so it's like, whether you end up being a climber or not, we just want you healthy. We want you to have good fitness, good people, obviously good grades, and maybe good sleep. Nosotros wants to put our money where our mouth is. So we want to give everyone, and your friends who are students as well, 2 weeks of free climbing, no strings attached. It includes free chalk and free shoe rentals. So if you head over to gonosotros.com, you purchase 2-week trial, and then you use the promo code CSU, you get it for $0. You will get an email verification. You can show it to our front desk, and they will give you a key tag that will allow you to come climb at both of our locations, Lakewood and downtown, for free for 2 weeks. So I hope that serves you well. We moved to this area because we want to be a blessing to you. We're so excited about this time, about providing you climbing and also getting through these times so that we can get back to normal. We do have all the safety precautions in place. Everybody wears masks over their nose and mouth whenever they come. Everybody gets their temperature taken whenever they come. Everybody sanitizes or washes their hands whenever they come in. We do the social distancing, and then we have air circulation so that there's clean air in the facility the entire time. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Peter. Yeah, so for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to check out Nosotros yet, if you are, of course, familiar with the CSU campus, it's located right next to the Amazon hub, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, so right on Euclid Avenue, there's a Indian restaurant that I can't think of the name of, but there's an Indian restaurant, and then there's the Amazon hub, kind of catty corner across from the student center. Bombay Chat. Yes. Thank you, Emily. You just popped it into the chat section. I was like, I know there's an Indian restaurant there. But yeah, so be sure to check them out. Thank you so much, Peter, for the great presentation. And then thanks again to Medical Mutual for being our presenting sponsor. So again, just like I mentioned at the beginning of the session, before everyone heads out, we do have a couple of winners for the $15 Chipotle gift card. Lou D is our winner for that. So Lou, be sure to drop your name and email into the chat so we can get you that $15 Chipotle gift card. Who else? Catherine Vanke. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing these. Catherine Vanke, Catherine V, you are the winner of the $25 Brunette gift card. If you could please be sure to drop your email into the chat, that would be wonderful. And then Alicia Johnson, you are the winner of our Class Axe $50 gift card. So be sure to drop your email into the chat. I encourage you all to take advantage of the promo code that Peter has shared on the screen for the 2-week free trial, and try your skills and meet some new people at Nosotros for bouldering. It's a really, really fun time. Great way to, just like he said, meet people, get some fitness and activity in, and have some fun and de-stress. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to utilize the chat, or if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask any questions to Peter, that would be wonderful. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending. And oh, good. Kristen already dropped the survey in the chat. So if you wouldn't mind taking a minute to fill out the survey regarding your experience with this session, we would appreciate that. And yeah, we'll open it up for any questions that anyone may have at this time.
I have a quick question for Peter. So I know that when starting a fitness routine, or especially something new, for students who may be a busy student, working, doing all that, what are some tips that you have? I know that you mentioned, was it your dad who texted you or would call you?
It was a buddy who would always call his dad, a friend. Yeah.
Okay. So, like having an accountability partner is a great thing, but what are some more tips that you have for the people on this chat or in this session to implement going to Nosotros, making it part of their routine, and how to keep it going week to week?
Yeah, that's awesome. So I would suggest two things. Number one, you hit it on the head. An accountability partner is huge. I know for us, we have meetup groups on Mondays from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the downtown location. We have a beginner meetup group. On Wednesdays from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the downtown location, we have an intermediate meetup group. And then some advanced climbers will come on Fridays because we have this kilter board. I don't know if you can see it here, but it basically has some advanced routes on it. Let's see here. Let me go back to, yeah. But then the second thing I was going to mention is accountability and scheduling it in your routine. So I work till 5:30 every day, and at 5 o'clock, I get out and climb. So I try to make a point to do that. First, I know a lot of students like to do it in the morning, and so the first thing in the morning, we should schedule the most challenging thing. So it's like whether it's that email or that homework assignment, whatever you don't want to do that first because we know it's important.
Thank you. Those are some
Yeah.
great tips.
Great question.